Guys, Deluded Gooner, YouTube's N'Golo Kante, the best YouTuber at this. I'm back again. Q&As. Yeah, man, let's crack on. Let's not waste any more time. As usual, thank you very much for the questions. If I've missed you out, just hit me up with some others or retype the same question back in. I try my best to go through all the comments and make sure I ain't missed none. And yeah, man, whether you got at me on Snapchat, in my messages on YouTube, DM'd on Twitter, or Facebook, Instagram, however you got to me, thank you very much for the questions, man. It means a lot. And apologies, like I've already said, if I've missed you out. But I'm waffling. Let's crack on. Firstly, at Jaden Sanjo. Great, these guys always contributing to the questions. Thank you very much, man. Why don't Arsenal go for Kovacic, the Madrid guy? He's not a regular at Real Madrid, and he's technically got the ability of Santi, if not better. They missed a trick, man. We should have went for him when he was at Zagreb. Should have went for him at Inter. I'm pretty sure Arsenal must have sniffed for him at Madrid and asked for his availability. As is Arsenal, we asked for players and bid money for players that we know we're not going to get. That ship sailed. Yes, he's not playing a lot of football, but you got to look at the options ahead of him. He's got 32-year-old Modric, who's still balling, but his legs are going to give way soon. Kroos is of a very good age, and no one's touching him. Then you got Isco and all these other players. So if I was him, you could be forgiven for wanting to leave, but you also have to remember you're at Real Madrid. Like, I know they ain't signed stars of late, but they've got stars there, and there's going to be competition in midfield. But maybe Modric, you just got to wait for Modric to have a bad game or have some injuries or something and take advantage of that. It's an impossible dream, I know, because Modric seems to always be fit and always delivering. But if I was him, I'd be 50-50 if I wanted to leave Madrid. He's won Champions League, he's won the league there. It's Real Madrid, for God's sake. Like, if I was him and Arsenal gave him an offer, I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm looking at it as non-biased as I can. I do believe he would listen to us and he would see what we have to say. And you maybe could persuade him. But especially of previous years. But would he want to come to this? Would he want to come to this? Like, it's not even a fact that we're not at Madrid's level. We're not actively looking like a team that wants to win titles and things like that. Why would he want to join a team with no ambition that's stagnant? So I think that one's a myth, and you might as well forget about that one, broski. So yeah, I cannot say this name. I'm just gonna have to call you Seb, bro. You always contribute at Seba Rivers. Forgive me, man. I made a hash of that. Forgive me, bro. But you always comment and you said you found my stuff through Bull Street. So thank you very much for you, man. He asks at Granit Xhaka, what's going on? Is he a waste of time? I've got a lot of time for Xhaka. I'm going to stand by. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, he's had bad games. Yes, he should be turning up in better games. But when he has good games or when he's consistently playing well, it's not spoken about. It's like whenever this guy makes a mistake, something happens. He got sent off against Swansea, or what was it last year? It was a dumb decision and he deserved to get sent off. But his discipline improved and there was a period he didn't even get a yellow. But unfortunately, he got sent off or something again, and the nonsense starts again. He has a lot to learn. Like, he needs to, for me, defensively, he needs to start. He hasn't got defensive bone in his body. He needs to fix up. There's times he's given away some goals or been contributed to some of the goals we've conceded, which is ridiculous. He's not a defensive mid. Like, I told fans when they were saying, comparing him to Kante, he's nothing like Kante. He's a deep line playmaker / a player whose strengths are distributing the ball, recycling possession, dictating tempo, clipping balls over the top. So Wenger's signing again, like you've seen with Ozil and several others, we're signing players into a system that they can't thrive in. Is it a coincidence? I know Swansea, Switzerland's not messed like that, but is it coincidence he plays slightly better? Is it coincidence Ozil plays better? They have systems. We're just buying players. We're buying technically amazing players, but we're not using our own IQ. We're setting them up to fail. So yeah, 50% his fault, of course, because not being aware of your runners, giving the ball away, playing square passes is all on you. Like, that's not on Wenger. But the system, if you get a system and you get a midfielder that's robust next to him, I promise you'll see an upgrade in him. And people need to start acting like he hasn't had good games. What about when we drew against Spurs last year, when him and Coquelin were in a dogfight, outnumbered in midfield? What about Chelsea or City? What about United? He's played well. He runs quite a lot. I was shocked with that because I didn't believe he was that. I believe he needs to become a bit more robust. He's very stiff. But yeah, man, I like Xhaka, and if you don't, I can't tell you who not to like. I always tell you guys, I'm not telling you what to think, just to think. But give Xhaka another year, man. Trust me, just give him another year, and then I'll probably join you if it gets to next summer and he's doing this duddery. Boom. So yeah, at AFC Honcho, if you could sign one defender, who would it be? In brackets, realistic. I'd say. What does this realistic sound? Are you saying, okay, on the basis that Arsenal have 40 or 50 million in the bank, whether they're going to spend it on a centre-half, I'd say you can go for Romagnoli, you can go for Regali, I cannot say his name properly, Juventus centre-half, Koulibaly. There's a couple centre-halves, man. You really put me on the spot. There's a couple centre-halves I've got written down that I haven't said. Oh, the Lyon guy, the young Lyon boy, 20 years of age. Forgot what his name is. I think City are chasing him as well. There's a couple options, bro. Hopefully that answers your question. Oh, you've got another one. Top 5 youth academies. I'm going with, I had to write it down. I'm going with Lens, I'm going with El Havre, I'm going with Lyon, and I'm going with Schalke. And fifth, I'm not too sure. You can insert whichever one. I'm going for them on the basis that they typically produce a number of young prospects and players that go on to have careers, and it's not spoken about. A lot of them get poached and things. I'm a very big fan of Lens Academy, to be honest with you. Hopefully that answers your question. So yeah, at Barry Nichols, my guy. If Bale wasn't injury prone, could he be up there with Messi slash CR7? I'd say no, bro, because he's not in that bracket. I mean, he's in the bracket of, regardless of these injuries or not, he's in the same bracket of Neymar and these sort of players just below. Them levels that Ronaldo and Messi have got, I don't need to explain to you how crazy they are. I don't believe injuries or not he'd be in there, but he's definitely a good player and he definitely have a claim. So yeah, I see where you're going, but I don't agree, bro. Ski. So yeah, moving on. At Sanks15. What 15? What do you think of Wenger wanting Zaha to replace us? Now, I don't know if that's clickbait or what, but Zaha's a decent player. He's improving. I do believe he's somewhat a rough diamond and could be a lot better. Personally, if it's going to be replacing Alexis, I'd like a bit better talent or a bit better player to replace him rather than Zaha, because he hasn't really got any output in terms of numbers, goals and assists. He's done well last year, but it's historically it's not a madness. So I'd like someone with a bit richer stats. If it was Wenger of old, like let's say 06, or behind, I'd be all on for Zaha, because you could say, yeah, Wenger could add that into his game, the goal scoring and decisiveness, similar to Sterling. There was a time I would say definitely Wenger would improve Sterling, but nowadays I don't know. So I wouldn't want Zaha on that basis to answer your question. At Show Rizzy, predict top 6 final standings. I don't really think you can, to be honest with you, because Chelsea are winning games, but they look a bit shaky. Spurs are getting the job done, but I do believe questions are not being asked of them and they look a bit shaky. The same goal for Liverpool. Arsenal are duds. There's not much more to be said on our front. United are having a bit of a wobble, so the same goes for them. City are the only ones you could say definitely are going to get top 4. So I've tried it at this basis of time. My best one, I've gone for City first, United second, Chelsea third, Spurs fourth. I do believe Arsenal and Liverpool could get into the top 4, but it's down to them on the basis that Arsenal, we would be in the top 4 if we didn't mess up ourselves last year, and to miss out on it by a point shows that Liverpool, they're their own worst enemy. I mean, if they turn up in big games and they drop down points, if they drop down points, they might not be in the top 4. So it's very much in Liverpool and Arsenal's hands. But if I look at both the two sides, I do believe both them two sides over 38 games realistically could pip Spurs, but Spurs are playing it amazingly. Spurs get the job done. Spurs got way more togetherness than both sets of them two players. So that's the top 6 to answer your question. I would go with, to be honest with you. Hopefully that answers your question. At Tariq Amazing, your dream football related job. I'd say either a scout, like a proper scout, not these I have held non-voluntary voluntary positions as a scout, and they're a bit mucky. People don't want to give references and stuff. I'd say a scout, a 30 scout, or talent analysis, talent ID, any of that. Well, I'd actually say a manager, I'd love to be the first black manager, like the first black. I got a long way to go. I need to get my coaching badges added on time and stuff like that. It takes a while and it's a lot of money. But if you're asking my dream, I'd love to be managing in the Premier League. I'd love to be the first black manager to win the Premier League, to be honest with you, if dreams were to go by. But that's just a pipe dream. So hopefully that answers your question. Thoughts on Timo Werner? Now, I've answered this many times. I rate him highly. I like him a lot. I believe he's going to be some sort of player. I would love him at Arsenal. Similar to the young boy Arp at Hamburg. I believe them two are the bright prospects for Germany, certainly up front. Hopefully that answers your question, my bro. Bashir K. Ahmed. Who is better, Hazard or Kevin De Bruyne? Now, that is a question I'll never be able to answer. I'm a big fan of Hazard's silky dribbling. He makes the difference in big games. He can improve in regards to his output. Kevin De Bruyne is the man of the moment right now. He has been for a while. You can play Kevin De Bruyne anywhere and he'll still make the difference. I'll take Kevin De Bruyne on the basis that I believe, similar to Ozil and Hazard, I don't believe you have to alter a system too much for Kevin De Bruyne to thrive, man, because he's on the defensive thing, even though he's not exactly robust or a tough tackler. So I'd say Kevin De Bruyne, man. I believe he's the best player in the Premier League, definitely at the moment. So, yeah, I'm having him. At Karslan Doji, who would you take? Who would you take? A good player with an average work ethic, or a useless player with a good work ethic? Now that question's a bit broad, bro. It depends if you, in regards to the position, in regards to the context, in regards to the importance of that player within my squad. If you're going on the basis of a striker, I'd say a good player with average work rate. To be honest, if I look, I'm not saying Lukaku by any stretch of the imagination has an average work rate, but if we look at it in the basis that he doesn't run around that much, but he's scoring 20 goals, I'm going to take him over, let's say, Danny Ings, who runs it like a headless chicken, run his socks off, but he's not got the goal scoring that thing he has. So I'd go with that, to be honest with you. Hopefully that answers your question. You got another one. Why does Jose always stand up for Fellaini? No top club would have him, but Jose thinks he's a future Ballon d'Or winner. Standing by his players, I mean, from if a manager likes a player, a manager likes a player. I don't know how to answer that, bro. I mean, Wenger likes Monreal for no reason all the time, and he plays him. When you're a manager, you have your favourites, or players you trust, and there's nothing we can do about that. So hopefully that answers your question. So yeah, man. Yeah, guys, I'm going to include the other questions in another Q&A. I'm seeing that this is looking quite long. I don't want you lot to be here forever. So as for now, that part of the Q&A is now done. Get in the comments, subscribe, DG, I'm out.